Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast, your one-stop shop for television, movie, video games, comic books, book reviews, and more. Now, without further ado, here's Steven and Mike.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone show. Great to have you here with us today. I am your host, Mr. Stephen Boster, and along with the one, the only Mr. Michael Shanks. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good morning to all you geeks out there in Geekdom Land.
All right, heads up everybody. This is a pre-recorded episode. We are launching live. We're kind of testing some cool new stuff with our podcasting, and so this is a pre-recorded. So if we're showing this and you're watching it live on YouTube, Facebook, and or Twitch, we are technically not live. So I'm gonna have a little caption here. I think I'm gonna put out.
When will then be now?
You're messing with my brain, buddy. You're messing with my brain.
Going back to Spaceballs there.
Right.
This is in the future, but or no, in the past. No, when will then be now?
Right. Skip that part. Skip that part.
In fact, never show this part again.
Right. If you've not seen Spaceballs, please watch Spaceballs. We should do a review on that movie.
Oh, yeah, we definitely should.
Well, hey, everybody. We are here to talk about Road to She-Hulk, getting ready for She-Hulk, and the Disney Plus series, which looks interesting. And so Mike is like, well, we should probably do a couple of things to kind of help prepare us for that. And so we decided to start off with the first Incredible Hulk movie. And Mike said, no way.
Now we should give a shout out to Sage Page Omega, because Sage Page Omega had mentioned it in one of our previous episodes in one of the chats that he liked the Ed Norton version of Incredible Hulk.
Yes.
So that's kind of where this started. And then we were like, hey, this could lead up to She-Hulk. Let's do it. So,
yep.
And you're right. That first Hulk, I'm like, yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah. Was that Eric Bana? Eric Bana, right?
Yeah. Actually, I've got the IMDb up because I was looking at that just before we started recording. Eric Bana, not Banner. Boy, that was a Freudian slip, wasn't it? Considering he played Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
Eric Bana played the Hulk in the 2003 Hulk, because that one was just called the Hulk, not Incredible Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer Connelly played Betty Ross. Sam Elliott played Ross. So I'm assuming that's Betty.
That would be the General.
The General. Actually, Sam Elliott's a good. I don't remember a lot from this movie other than
maybe we should do it like the Three Geeky Dads drink.
Yeah, that might be a candidate for our first drink till it's good.
Right.
I like Sam Elliott, so
well, Jennifer Connelly, Eric Bana's not a bad actor.
It's not a bad cast, honestly. It's just the movie sucked.
So everybody, we are not talking about that movie. We are talking about the Incredible Hulk, which I consider part of Phase 1 of the MCU.
I would agree, especially the way this one ended.
Yes.
I think Ed Norton was supposed to be our Hulk in the MCU. Obviously, if you watch this film, spoiler alert for the ending, but certain MCU character comes walking in at the end, which is a cool part. I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ed Norton was Bruce Banner in this. Liv Tyler played Betty Ross.
Mm-hmm.
And this is funny because we watched this Thursday night, right?
Okay.
Emil Blonsky, who becomes the Abomination.
Right. Yeah.
Brenda kept going, who is that guy? I know that guy.
Uh-huh.
And then she went out of the room, and all of a sudden it struck me who he was.
Oh,
He's
yeah?
he's the doctor from Just Lie to Me or Lie to Me.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, which I love that episode,
Oh, that
and I'm a big fan of the actual real guy that that's based on.
okay,
And that's a whole nother subject and stuff
sure,
like that. So yeah.
sure. Oh, so I wonder if that's on our Geekdar.
You lie to me?
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe.
Anyway, Lie to Me is a good series. I enjoy that a lot.
Yeah.
Not exactly our forte on this show, but man, that if you're looking for something fun, psychological, definitely watch that show. It's really
Yeah, it's actually so you can go to the the person that it's actually based upon. This is oh, we're squirreling big time here. I'm so sorry.
yeah, that's okay. I mean, he's part of
Uh,
the movie, so
yeah, well, are we talking about Lie to Me still?
yeah, yeah,
So so in that, here I'll tell you, um his name is Paul Ekman is the guy's name.
the real guy you're talking
The
about.
real guy that that series is based on, and you can go to his website, Paul Ekman, EKMAN.com, and he actually has a episode by episode review that he does of the show,
Oh wow! I need
and
to look at that.
it's really good. And I actually am a member of his uh, facial recognition training program because it's all about body language and communication and stuff like that. So,
Right,
um, which it teaches you different things, but it's technically called micro expressions and stuff. But that
right, and
show
they mentioned
teaches
that.
you about
So,
that. Yeah. And
yeah,
so, yeah, it's pretty neat stuff actually. So yeah.
very
So
cool.
but yeah, Tim Roth is the actor.
Right, yeah, Tim Roth,
Yes.
the
Yeah,
actor.
and he's been in some other stuff, but I loved him in Lie to Me, and I can't wait to talk about him more in our review today about the Hulk.
Yes.
The Incredible Hulk.
Oh, I think he's a great actor. I
Mhm.
really like him a lot. I like him in this movie. He's a jerk in this movie, though, uh,
He is.
but he's good at it. So we'll get into that. We'll get into that.
We will, by golly. So, hey, everybody, that is what we are talking about today. I'm pretty excited about that, and got a chance to rewatch it, go through it. I watched it at double speed. No, I'm just kidding. Mike jokes about me always hitting the go forward button on stuff. All right. Let's go forward 10 seconds. Come on, let's go forward 10 seconds. Enough of pan and scan of the area, please.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'll reserve my comments for later about skipping.
Right on. Right on, by golly. So, okay. Anyway, where would you like to start, Mike? Should we do our overall review with our score?
Go for it. Okay, I'm gonna let you go first because I really don't know what we haven't discussed this really. It's been
Mhm.
years since I watched the movie.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I'm going into this blind on how you feel about this movie. So,
Oh, sure. Yeah, because we've never really talked about it.
no, we haven't. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't even think you and I have geeked out. You know, there's been a lots of things that we've geeked out before we had the podcast, and
Right.
I don't think this is one of them. So,
I don't think we ever talked about this.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, Hulk was never really, when we got together, it was always like Star Wars,
sure.
Batman, those kinds of things. And so Hulk really wasn't really on my radar until on my geekdar,
Yeah, you
uh,
did. All right.
really until this movie came out, to be
Okay.
open with you.
Now,
I
see,
mean,
I am a Hulk fan. I like the Hulk. I used to read some of the Hulk issues. I'm a fan of Hulk versus Thing.
uh-huh.
I had the Hulk versus Wolverine. Of course, I was collecting the Wolverine issues at that time, but
Hmm.
this is a fantastic cover because it shows the face of Wolverine, his claws ejected, and you see
Uh-huh.
the reflection of the Hulk in his claws.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Great,
Oh,
great cover.
Such a good cover. Look
Yeah,
that up. It's just amazing. I
that's
love
like one of the best. All if you were to say best 50 covers, or that's definitely in the
oh,
top 50, if not
it's
like the
up there.
top 20.
Definitely up there. Yeah, it's a good, really good cover.
Yeah,
Really.
no, thanks for mentioning that cover. That's yeah, I agree with you.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I've been a Hulk fan for years actually. But
Hmm.
anyway,
So yeah, I remember working at Blockbuster, and I remember when the first Hulk one came out with Eric Bana, and just wasn't interested in it and stuff. But I enjoy Ed Norton as an actor, and I'll get more into that later on. I saw him in The Score with Robert De Niro, which was fabulous. Most people thought his acting in Primal Fear scared the bejesus out of a lot of people, especially ending. And if you have, even though it's an old movie, uh, if you've never seen it, I don't want to spoil anything for you on it, period. Um, so because I've only seen bits and pieces, but much of because I knew the story already. So, but it's a good one. His
you
acting in
had
that was great.
interest in this movie because you liked Ed Norton,
I liked Ed Norton as an actor, absolutely. I mean, come on, Fight Club is another one of his, that another great twist of an ending.
but we don't talk about Fight Club.
That we'll
All
play.
right, would you
We'll play.
believe it? I've never watched Fight Club.
Really?
Yeah, I've never.
Um, it's
I
got
haven't
a
watched any of these movies you're talking about.
Yeah, so yeah, Ed Norton actually is a really good actor. And we'll talk more about beyond that, but that's why I wanted to see this. I'm like, okay. And this is when the rumblings of all these Marvel movies were going to be connected somehow, some way, or
Right.
started to, we excuse me, we already had Iron Man. So Iron Man had already kind of set the stage.
Yep.
And with Robert Downey Jr. And so I was like, okay, all right, let me see how these are connected and stuff. And for me, the trailers look great. So that's why I wanted to see this. So I actually bought it on Blu-ray. This was when Blu-rays were beginning, and so I anteed up beyond buying the DVD to buy the Blu-ray. So my score for this movie, granted, we're looking at some time ago when it came out. And but I still give this movie really my score back then probably would have been 8 out of 10. Now it's really around. It's really the same, no more than 8. It's hard because it's an older movie and you've judged all these other movies since then. If we're being open about it,
That is a good
but
point.
eight, yeah, but 8 out of 10 for me. I loved all the actors in it. I thought it was really good. There's great tense moments that you felt tension for the character. There are some things I just absolutely don't like about this movie that I'll talk about. But on the whole, it's enjoyable, and I enjoyed watching it again. So that's so I give it 8 out of 10 abominations.
Oh, nice. We hadn't even picked out a scale. That's great. I love
Right.
it. I love it.
Yep.
Okay. Uh, Sage Page Omega had brought this up, and we both thought this would be a great idea to talk about this, especially leading up to She-Hulk. I think it's a good introduction
Mm-hmm.
heading to She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Considering that, like you said, this is part of Phase 1 of the MCU, which they do connect at the end of this film.
Yes.
I believe that Ed Norton was supposed to be our Hulk in the MCU. As we know that did not happen. Um,
Right.
and I had remembered enjoying this movie a lot more than the 2003 Hulk. This came out in 2008.
You
Uh,
enjoyed it much more betterer.
much more betterer,
Cheers, everybody.
but there are some issues with this film.
Sure.
I do think this has a good cast. I really like the three main characters very much. I thought Ed Norton did a very good job as Bruce Banner. In fact, I will go as far as to say I think I like Ed Norton a little bit better as Bruce Banner than I do Mark Ruffalo. Um,
Uh-huh.
I
Ruffalo.
I
Mark
think
Ruffalo. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
Ruffalo.
Yeah.
I think he plays a little bit more now. Some of that has to do with the writing. where they've
Sure.
went with the Hulk and the Avengers and so on and so forth, and they've given a slightly comedic aspect to it. I get it. But
Right.
I don't know. The Ed Norton version felt a lot more like the 70s, 80s Bill Bixby, Bruce Banner.
Yeah. Okay.
And I am a
Hmm.
fan of say what you want about the 70s, 80s, because I believe that started in the 70s, ended in the 80s. Um, say what you want about that version of the Incredible Hulk. I was a fan of that series.
I love that series.
I was watching that
I
every
loved that series when I was a kid. Yes. I
and then
couldn't wait to see the next episode.
and there's something I want to talk about at the beginning of this movie that connects to that, by the way.
Okay.
Well, actually, we got a couple connections, but
We
anyway.
have several. Yes.
So, I really enjoy Norton's version of Bruce Banner. I think it's better. Uh, I like the
Okay.
look of the Hulk. I thought they improved on him from the 2003, so the CGI
Yes.
got better.
Very much so. Yes.
I think that's good. I like the action in the movie. When there's action, that's where we have a problem. Yeah, that's where it starts to go south for me.
Okay.
I thought Liv Tyler did a great job as Betty Ross. Enjoyed her, and
Hmm.
as we talked about earlier with Tim Roth, I really liked him as Emil Blonsky, and then becoming the Abomination. I thought he did a fantastic job.
Yes.
So, with that said, there is a lot of downtime in this movie. So if there's any movie that's eligible for your skip option, this is the one. Oh my gosh. Like almost 40 minutes of this movie could have been skipped. Okay. When there's action, this movie is fantastic. It is
Right.
great. When there's not, it's boring. I hate to say it because again, revisiting this, I really wanted to rank this up as one of my top Marvel films. It's not
Hmm.
up there. It's just not. It's still higher than the 2003 Hulk. Of
Hmm.
course, most
Hmm.
everything's higher than the 2003 Hulk.
Right. Right.
So I will give this 6 out of 10 abominations.
All right.
Uh,
6 out of 10.
yeah.
All right.
I
Sounds
mean, that's
good.
not a terrible score. And
Right.
and it is an enjoyable movie, but there's a lot of dull, boring spots in this movie, unfortunately.
Yeah. So I think this is the point where uh, I I think the MCU was trying to find its place. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
This was before they would put in the kind of the jokes, we have today. They would insert the little jokes here and there. They had it somewhat in Iron Man, but this is the morphing of they're learning from themselves. And
right,
I think this movie actually served as kind of um, a turning point for some of the style of what they were looking for, realizing that some of the jokes and stuff that were landing in the way Iron Man was done, serious, but had some fun jokes in it,
right.
sarcastic stuff. And really it was sarcastic stuff. And where this one really does not at all. I mean, it's a
Sure.
strict, we're going to introduce character, we're going to have a superhero story, and then kind of move on. And there's more to it. In a little bit, I do want to read this article about why Mark Ruffalo replaced Ed
Okay.
Norton as the MCU's Bruce Banner. Um, I will say, I will agree with you that I do like Ed Norton better than Mark Ruffalo. When I saw Mark Ruffalo take over, I was like, huh? It was so weird for me. And some people are like, well, you can't imagine anybody else doing it other than Mark Ruffalo. Well, I'm like, you have no creativity in your brain either,
Right.
because I'm like, Mark Ruffalo was okay. He was okay. Um, he was, in my opinion, he's a good actor. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be mean
Right. Yeah, we're
towards
not
him.
trying to rip on the actor himself.
No,
We're not
he is a good actor. It's
right.
just it was not Bruce Banner for me
I
to a
agree.
certain degree.
I agree. He
And
doesn't always feel like Bruce Banner in all the Avengers films. Um,
mhm,
I think Ed Norton actually did a better job. Again,
Mm-hmm.
I like Bill Bixby's performance as Bruce Banner from the TV series,
Mm-hmm.
and I seriously think he comes closer to the Bill Bixby version, much more closer than what Mark does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, so yeah, yeah. I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you on that. I will also agree with you on there when you have action, it's really good.
Yeah.
And I understand we're trying to do storytelling and stuff. I was glad that in the credits, in the opening credits, they recapped what all happened. We didn't get another origin story, which I was very thankful for.
No, we didn't. It
They just
was
did
coming
it in the
off.
credits and moved on.
Yeah, it was coming off of the 2003 one. Excuse me. But yeah, like you said, we didn't. You don't really need to see the origin of the Hulk. We all pretty much know it, you know.
Right. You got gamma radiation. But I
Right.
did think there was a neat callback to
Yes. Yes, and I wanted to mention that.
the series. Go ahead, go for it.
So in the very beginning of the film, we actually get a reproduction of what you see at the beginning of the Incredible Hulk TV series, with
Yeah.
Bill Bixby's Bruce Banner sitting in that. I don't even know what that thing is. That
Right.
X-ray chair thingy majorgy. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but it looked identical to what you saw in the 70s TV series. I mean, down to the the
The little
light,
crosshairs,
the
the green
crosshairs on
crosshairs on the
the face
face.
and everything. I love
Yeah.
callback. I thought that was so much fun, you know.
Agreed.
So yeah, that was one of the things that was a highlight to me. Like that very much.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big highlight. And of course, we get Lou Ferrigno. He makes an
Yep.
appearance, and I
He
like his
does.
appearance in this. I thought it was
Yep.
pretty funny.
It looked like Lou Ferrigno was having fun.
Yeah, it did. It did. And Lou was also the voice of the Hulk. He actually did the
Was he?
Hulk. Yes.
So when he did the whole Hulk smash
Right.
kind of a thing, that was that's awesome.
That's
I
all
did
Lou
not know
Ferrigno.
that. All
Yeah.
this time, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So it was nice that they were able to incorporate. I mean, they had incorporated him in the 2003 one too, because he and Stan Lee were together in the 2003 one, and they were both security guards together in that one. In this one, I like Stan Lee's. His appearance is pretty interesting in this one.
It is. I was like, so what happened? Kind of. I was going to ask you that. Did we get some kind of? I got lost, or I didn't realize what had happened. I knew he drank the drink that had Banner's blood in
Banner's
it.
blood in it. He died. He just
I
died.
assume that's what happened. He was just like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, that's quite the punch," or
And
some packs a punch
that's what put it on the radar for the general, because
to find them.
they got a report that somebody in, I don't know, Spain or wherever they were at.
No, he's in New York because that got shipped to the U.S.
Well, okay, yeah, he drank it in New York, but it came from a bottling company in Spain,
in Brazil.
yeah, Brazil, and that's how they figured out where Banner was at.
Yes,
Now,
yes, yes,
that's
yes.
an aspect of this film, again, that's a callback to the original TV series that I like. It's Bruce Banner on the run,
Yes.
just because that's what the original Incredible Hulk comic book was. It
Mm-hmm.
was Banner on the run from the military the entire time,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and that's what the TV series is, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that 18 feel to it. Yeah.
Dun 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 dun. Roar! Hulk smash!
Yeah. The Hulk was the 18 before the 18 was the 18.
That's right. That's right. I love it. Yep.
I mean, if you look at it, the episodes are quite a bit alike. You have the military chasing him. Now, granted,
Mhm.
they're wanting to weaponize him. With the A-Team, they're just trying to bring them back to prison. But he always meets up with somebody who needs help, and somehow he helps them, and then he escapes the military at the end of it.
Mhm.
It is the A-Team was beat for beat a repeat
The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, beat for beat, repeat. Hey, it's just like poetry. It rhymes.
It rhymes.
Oh, Brenda wanted to remind me that Bill Bixby was also in The Courtship of Eddie's Father in TV. So that's another classic TV series that.
Wasn't that the show that when they showed Bill Bixby in the movie, that was the show that was
Yes.
playing?
Yes. So yeah, that's right. So you got both Lou Ferrigno and Bill Bixby, even though Bill Bixby had died in this
Hmm.
in this movie. That was a pretty ingenious way to bring him back and pay
To
tribute.
honor him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. That was very cool. They did
Yeah.
a good job.
Yes, it was. And we also got another callback in general, but we got the where Liv Tyler's character Betty Ross got him new pants, the big purple pants. They were only
With the
ones that were
stretchy pants.
stretchy.
We always did have the question as kids. Well, how come the Hulk's pants only rip at the bottom? How come?
Right.
It's funny. Our legs kind of go in.
Right.
It's
You think that'd be the last to rip apart.
right. Exactly. But for some reason, they always stayed on. Now we know because Bruce wears stretchy pants.
Right, right. What's the phrase we get in one of the other MCU movies? Hiding the zucchini. Stark says something about you guys stop playing hide in the zucchini or something crazy like that.
Wow, that kind of takes me back to Spinal Tap. This is Spinal Tap when Derek Smalls, the guitarist, he's getting ready to get on a plane, and for the fun of it, he takes a cucumber or a zucchini, wraps it in aluminum foil, and puts it in his pants. And when they go to do the magic wand, because you go through the metal detector, and back then they would just use the wand. You wouldn't walk through a detector.
Right.
They just use a wand, and yeah,
It
by
goes middle part. Weep, weep, weep.
Anyway.
Good humor, funny humor, British humor right there, by golly.
Well, that's
All
not
right.
even British. That's American. They pretend to be a British band. But...
Right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
So,
all right. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I wanted to read a little bit from the Marvel encyclopedia.
Yeah. Let's do that.
I just wanted to give a little bit of background on the Incredible Hulk. So, as we know, his real name is Robert Bruce Banner. He's a scientist or a wanderer. I love that. His base is mobile. Perfect.
Yep.
And his first appearance was Incredible Hulk #1 in May of 1962. And for those who might not know, the original first first issue of the Incredible Hulk was gray on the cover, not green, as we know him. And that had to do with printing issues that they changed the color from gray to green. There's some fun facts behind that, but I don't have them all down, so I can't go through it. His powers, he's fueled by gamma radiation. The Hulk possesses almost unlimited physical strength. The madder he gets, the stronger he gets. He can leap several miles in a single bound. His body heals almost instantly. He possesses a strong homing instinct for the desert where he was born. So that's one aspect of the Incredible Hulk none of these movies are touching. I mean, they did the leaping in this movie, which was great.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
this has been one of my big arguments about the Incredible Hulk throughout the entire MCU is the fact that the angrier Hulk gets, the stronger he gets.
Mhm.
And sometimes they've even portrayed him as not only getting stronger, but he gets larger. So,
Mm.
it's like I would love to see that in one of these films for once. Let's portray the Hulk the way he's supposed to be done in the comic books.
Right.
I think it would be so cool to do that, and we just have not seen it. he gets he gets hungry. It goes back to the one little joke in the
That's
movie.
the joke at the beginning. You wouldn't
I'll
like
make-
me when I'm hungry.
That's because he was trying to say it in Spanish, and yeah, he didn't
Right,
know Spanish well. And the guy just looked at him like, "What is wrong with you?"
right,
So yeah, that's an aspect of the Hulk that I really wish that they would incorporate into these movies, and they just haven't done it. And this would
right.
have been a perfect movie for it. It really would have.
Mhm. It kind of alludes to it in this movie, but not really. They do something else, and this is one of the things that I don't like at
Okay.
all about it, that it's all tied to heart rate. And I get it, if you're getting angry, your heart rate gets up.
Again,
But
I think that's a callback to the original series, though. I think uh, Banner in the original series kind of did that too. So I think they're just trying to pay tribute to the original
you
series.
think so? All
Yeah,
right, that's a
I
good perspective. I appreciate that because I was just like, well, wait a minute. If he's jogging and running, he's just running and stuff. He's
that's
not
fair,
mad. That's going to raise your heart rate,
right?
and that's going to make you turn into the Hulk. I thought it was all built around anger,
Anger. Yeah.
kind of a thing.
Well,
So.
and I've said in the past, I like my Hulk strong, angry, and dumb. That's the way I prefer my Hulk.
Oh,
And that is the
yeah,
whole purpose of the line, "Don't make me angry." You would
right.
me when I'm angry. I mean,
Exactly.
that is the whole you're right. I will give you that. I just think because I don't know, I have not watched the original TV series in a long, long time, and there's a reason for that.
I want that to stay in the 70s, late 70s, where I enjoyed it as a kid. I don't
Right.
want to ruin it
I
today.
want that to stay as fond memories, not something I
Mhm.
look at going, "God, this was stupid. How could I
By the
wa"
way, the two made for TV movies are on Tubi.
Yeah, I don't think I wanna watch those either. I I would be more apt to go back and watch the episodes than because I remember the movies and they were terrible. They were just horrible,
Yeah,
and I don't remember the movie or the TV series being horrible. So, yeah, that'll just further ruin my childhood memories, and I think it's better if I leave them where they're at.
agreed. Leave them in the past where I have fond memories.
Right, right. I've kinda ruined Speed Racer by going back and rewatching it, and I wished I hadn't. Ooh, ooh. So, if you watch Speed Racer, you know why I'm doing that,
Oh, okay, good to know.
because that's all you hear in Speed Racer.
Gotcha. Well, here, well, finish your article. What else is in that article?
Well, the other thing I wanted to cover, was the fact that it gave Hulk's psyche and, going into the Maestro, which the Maestro is like the older version of the Hulk.
Okay.
So, it
When
says
you
here
say older, you mean older in age or back in time?
no,
It was
older in age.
okay.
He's aged. In fact, you see him with all gray hair, gray beard. Well, he's actually bald. He doesn't have any hair, and then he's just got
Okay.
this huge gray beard, almost Duck Dodgers,
Duck
almost
Dynasty.
Duck Dynasty beards. Um, which I like. I like anyway.
Yeah.
It says over the years, Bruce Banner's transformations into the Hulk have taken on a variety of styles. Initially, Banner would become the Hulk when the sun set. Interesting. I didn't know that. And return to his Banner identity at sunrise. So almost like a werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
See, I never
Mm-hmm.
thought of him as a werewolf. I always thought of him more as Jekyll and Hyde because that's
Mm-hmm.
where the whole angry aspect.
That's how I always viewed it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Soon after, Banner learned to control his transformations. Excuse me. Um, using a gamma ray machine, becoming a more intelligent but less savage Hulk. Eventually, the continued exposure to gamma radiation caused Banner to transform into the Hulk whenever he became agitated or upset. So, hence what we just talked about. Banner's Hulk persona also has differed over the years. Each one personality representing a different facet of his fragmented psyche. The childlike Green Hulk, which is what I said I prefer. The more intelligent but less powerful Gray Hulk, which is the Joe Fixit version of the Hulk, which I do like that one. The extremely intelligent but egocentric Professor Hulk, which is kind of what we're getting in the MCU currently.
And it looks like that's what we're going to have for She-Hulk.
Yeah, that's definitely what we're going to have for She-Hulk. And even a Devil Hulk representing all of the evil within Banner's soul. Additional premutations of the Hulk are apt to emerge at any given time, should the conditions prove favorable. On a future Earth where much of the world and its superheroes have been destroyed in a nuclear apocalypse, the Hulk survived. His strength increased by the radiation, but also driven mad. This Hulk seized control, becoming the Maestro. See, I want to read some more about the Maestro. I don't know much about this version.
Mm.
Rebels against the Maestro's rule, stole Doctor Doom's time platform, went back in time to get the Hulk's help at a time when he was the Professor Hulk. The Hulk managed to defeat the Maestro by sending him back in time to the moment the gamma bomb explosion had originally created the Hulk. The Maestro has returned since then, but has never been as deadly. So the Maestro sounds really interesting to me. I would like to
Interesting.
read more about that version.
Huh. Interesting. We'll have to get a list, which episodes have the Maestro story and read those in order or whatever. Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to do a World War Hulk episode too, which
Ooh, okay. I'll add that to the list. World War Hulk. That sounds good. Cool. Well, I wanted to read this article and have discussions about why Ed Norton got replaced, kind of a thing, and get your thoughts on it and stuff. And I'll share some of mine as well. So this is from CBR.com. And I like this, even though I got tons of ads on their site, but I do enjoy it. But it says Hulk: Why Mark Ruffalo replaced Ed Norton as the MCU's Bruce Banner. Between the Incredible Hulk and in the Avengers, Marvel replaced Ed Norton with Mark Ruffalo in the role of Bruce Banner. Here's why. This is an article that was updated June 9th of 21, actually.
Oh, wow.
The Incredible Hulk is something of an outlier in the Marvel Comics universe, or Marvel Cinematic Universe. While the 2008 film is still canon, important supporting characters like Betty Ross by Liv Tyler have not yet reappeared in the MCU. In the end credits tease of Samuel Stern's Tim Blake Nelson transforming into the classic villain, the Leader, was never realized.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember an end credits tease of Samuel Stern's.
I don't either.
And I double checked last night. I was like, oh, there's not a post credit scene.
Because I did the same thing. I fast forwarded through the credits because I was like, I don't remember if they had started the post credit stuff at this point. And the only thing, there was nothing there except for the Marvel logo. That was it.
Now I watched it on HBO Max, and so I do have the Blu-ray. I just didn't feel like getting it out, so I may get it out to see if there is. I'm curious now.
Yeah.
Tim Blake Nelson, I do like him as an actor. He's in some fun movies. All right, so yeah, we never got the classic villain, the Leader, which I thought would have been really good. I was kind of looking forward to that. Remember the movie Mr. Blue? He was Mr. Blue in the movie. So when
that's who Leader, that he's supposed to become Leader?
Yes, because if you remember the scene that occurred, like when the Abomination was created, he knocked Mr. Blue down, and then some of the tainted blood that he created this whole supply. But got into, he got an open cut on his head, and then it leaked in, and then his brain started moving, and he like grinned real big,
Okay. Okay.
you know, kind of a thing. However, one of the biggest ways the Incredible Hulk differs from the other films is that the only one to have recast its title character for subsequent appearances, with Mark Ruffalo replacing original actor Ed Norton, beginning with the 2012 The Avengers. Here's everything we know about why Marvel Studios replaced Edward Norton with Mark Ruffalo. Note this was updated June 9th to reflect Mark Ruffalo being involved in Disney Plus She-Hulk series and to elaborate upon circumstances surrounding Edward Norton's departure from the MCU. Why Edward Norton's time as Bruce Banner ended. The Incredible Hulk wasn't highly successful, grossing about $265 million worldwide, but it was well enough received that a casting change was unexpected. However, the film's production was tumultuous. Ooh, big word, $5 word there.
Yeah. No,
Okay, with a filmography that included Fight Club, I was in The Italian Job. He was a great villain in The Italian Job.
Ed Norton was.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the one. The Italian Job's the remake of the old Italian Job.
oh, okay. I was gonna say, is he old enough to be?
No, they did a remake with Mark Wahlberg was in it. The Charlize Theron was in it, and they drove around Mini Coopers. It was great. It was a great movie. The Illusionist. Yeah, he was in The Illusionist. That was a neat movie. I really enjoyed that. Okay, Norton negotiated a deal not only to star in The Incredible Hulk, but also be the uncredited screenwriter.
Oh wow.
So it says Zach Penn, who wrote the first draft, was credited by the Writers Guild of America as the solo writer.
Huh.
Oh, Norton submitted his own draft within a month, as stipulated by his contract with Marvel Studios, and continued to revise the script well into production. According to co-star Tim Roth, who played Emil Blonsky, there were daily rewrites.
Wow.
So it sounds like there was just constant rewriting of the script as it was going along.
Right.
Ed Norton built upon Zach Penn's original script, but kept making changes.
Gotcha.
Let me tell you, you keep making changes,
Yep.
that's going to frustrate everybody.
Oh yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Norton and director Louis Lederer also clashed with producers over their desired 135-minute cut of The Incredible Hulk. A dispute that spilled out into public. Marvel Studios prevailed, however, with the
This
theatrical release
movie did
clocking
not
in.
need to be longer.
Right. Yeah, clocking in 112 minutes. So there was 20 minutes that was shaved off, just over 20 minutes shaved off of the movie. So, that's funny. You had mentioned earlier about that it being, yeah, we can do the Steven skip and some stuff.
Yes, we could have. We could have. I'm telling you, there are dull moments in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I really wanted this to go in my list as top Marvel films because I like the Hulk. I am a fan of the Hulk in
Mm-hmm.
general. And and there were points in this movie I'm like, oh God, let's move this on.
Yeah, let's do Steven skip. Okay.
Yeah.
The actor made only select appearances in support of the film's release, but he insisted that that decision wasn't because of his friction with Marvel. Quote, "It has always been my firm conviction that films should speak for themselves," end quote, he clarified. Quote, "and that knowing too much about how they are made diminishes the magic of watching them," end quote. Let me get my wading boots on. Let me get my wading boots on. You know how much they do. I mean, that's part of their contracts. We need you to go on tour to do all the stuff. So, all right.
Well, now there's some truth to be said about that statement, though. I mean, the movie should speak for itself. I'm not
Sure.
saying that they shouldn't go out and promo it. They should. There should be promotion for it. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
everyone does that, and you do that to get the audience hyped up. But if you need that so much and you don't have the clips to back it up, then you have a problem. So in a way, I agree with him. The movie should speak for itself. Not to say that there shouldn't be any promotion,
Right.
but it should stand alone. It should.
Mm-hmm. All right, so here we go. It says, however, that wasn't the last word on the subject because a report in the lead up to Comic-Con International 2010 that Marvel planned to recast Norton for the Avengers,
Right.
which would assemble all of the heroes introduced to date in a single film. So by 2010, that everybody had been introduced, but then they were going to replace Ed Norton.
Right.
Here's what it said. Um, that was immediately confirmed in a statement by Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige issued from the set of Captain America the First Avenger. Quote, our decision, this is highlighted in the article too, the only thing highlighted in the article. It says, our decision is definitely not one based on monetary factors, end quote. He wrote in part, quote,
Oh,
but instead rooted in the need for an actor who embodies the creativity and collaborative spirit of our other talented cast members. The Avengers demands players who thrive working as part of an ensemble, as evidenced by Robert, Chris H., Chris E., Sam, Scarlett, and all of our talented casts, end quote.
okay. You know what that says to me? That says he pissed someone off.
Uh-huh.
if,
I agree.
if it's not based on monetary, which I'm not 100% convinced that that's all true either, because I do think that played into this. Because
Oh, sure. I bet you he was wanting
yeah,
pay up.
he was wanting
Mm,
to be paid up, and the Hulk did not bring in the money that would justify that. So
mm-hmm,
I think it was a combination of monetary, and he pissed someone off. He
mm-hmm,
pissed off Kevin Feige.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's the last
You
person
know,
to piss off in the Marvel universe. That's for sure.
notice that we don't have another Hulk standalone film.
No, and we're not going to. It's not
Yeah.
going to happen because the Hulk has failed twice, and they're not gonna bet on it again.
Mhm. We'll
He,
put you in Thor Ragnarok,
right, we're going to use
you
you as a
know.
supporting character, and
Yeah.
because that's where they feel he's best. You know, unfortunately, DC seems to be doing the same thing with Superman because Man of Steel failed, which I disagree. I think
I disagree with that. I thought Man of
know,
Steel was
we need to have
great.
a Man of Steel episode. We need to.
Okay, Man of
Um,
Steel, I'm writing it on the list.
actually, I think Man of Steel needs to be prelude to Black Adam, but because I'm hoping
Okay.
to go somewhere with that.
Agreed.
But
Agreed.
DC's kind of done the same thing with Superman. Superman, the Man of Steel failed at the box office, so they said, "Well, we're just going to take the Man of Steel and make him a supporting character to all these other films," which they've
Mhm.
done. I don't think that's the right decision with Superman. I think you come up with a good story and get him a good movie. I think the Hulk would be the same thing. You got to come up with a good story and get him a good movie. That's not on him. That's on you guys. You guys
Mhm.
are messing up. That's my opinion. Uh,
Mhm.
I think Mark has done an okay job. Again, I like Ed a little bit better as Bruce Banner. I think
Mhm.
he's a little bit better.
Mhm.
But I guess for the current way they've done the Avengers, Mark has done a good job. So,
Sure. Okay. Well, let me continue. It's not over yet.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. No, no, no. Unsurprisingly, Norton's agents fired back, calling Marvel's comments, quote, offensive, end quote, and, quote, a purposefully misleading, inappropriate attempt to paint our client in a negative light, end quote. Uh,
Well,
yep.
you know, I hate throwing around offended. I hate that word. That word drives me crazy.
Right,
But yeah, I can kind of I see where they're going with it.
right. So, so here's what it says. However, Norton gave another explanation for his departure, doing a 2014 interview, saying that he had, quote, experienced what he wanted to, end quote, with the part, and that he, quote, didn't want to have an association with one thing in one way degrade his effectiveness as an actor in characters, end quote. I was, oh, okay. While promoting his roles
The
in
word
Birdman,
salad there.
yeah. While promoting his roles in Birdman, I didn't know he was in that, and Moonrise Kingdom, I didn't know he was in that. Norton had, of course, I haven't seen those movies. Norton has also explained the obligations of a mainstream franchise would clash with such work. Norton has since said he'd happily return to the MC. It doesn't say MCU, it just says MC, and that he harbors no ill will with Mark Ruffalo, who replaced him as Bruce Banner starting in 2012's The Avengers.
Well, that's just being, well, I'm going to play nice in case they want to use me for something else because I want some of that Disney MCU money.
Yeah. So
Can't blame him
here,
there.
yeah. So here's what's interesting is although Ruffalo was actually letterers, the director's first choice for the Incredible Hulk, Marvel wanted Norton because he was, quote, more famous, end quote, and Ruffalo only did, quote, smart intellectual films, end quote. And while now Ruffalo is synonymous with the Hulk, at the time he was an unconventional choice because he wasn't a proven leading man in the same way as Norton.
Wow.
That said, much of Marvel's Phase 1 casting also didn't have name recognition on the same level as Norton. Recasting Bruce paid off for Marvel. While Norton was fine in the role, Ruffalo stands apart from the MCU's other leading men with a woolly, bashful charm. I don't know. He plays Banner as someone uncomfortable in his own skin and fearful of his power, and brings an endearing, low-key pathos to the hero. I don't know. I don't know.
You know,
I'm okay if that's his opinion. That's fine.
oh, no, that's fine. That's fine. One of my favorite performances of his, of Mark's, was when I don't remember if he was talking to Cap. I don't remember who he was talking about, and it's one of the more serious moments of him when he talks about wanting to get rid of the Hulk, and he said something about I once tried to put a bullet in my brain, and
It
the
didn't
other
work.
guy spit it out.
Yeah.
Now that was a Hulk moment. That was a Bruce Banner Hulk moment that I would have seen in the comic books that I would have enjoyed. Um, but they've moved way beyond that. He is no longer that same Bruce Banner. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Banner who I want to get rid of the Hulk. I don't like the Hulk. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the Hulk is a curse. You know, they've completely moved away from that, and I don't know if I like it as much.
Mm-hmm. Which probably explains why they've gone to Professor Hulk.
Right. Yeah, because with Professor Hulk, you don't have to worry about that. He's just always
Yeah.
Hulk, and he likes who he is on both sides, so on and
Mm-hmm.
so forth. But I don't know. I kind of like the Jekyll and Hyde version of the Hulk. I
Agreed.
enjoy that.
Mm-hmm. That's the tension point in the character.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Last paragraph says Ruffalo appeared as both Bruce Banner and the Hulk in the Avengers and its sequel, Age of Ultron, Infinity War, and Endgame, and in co-starred with Chris Hemsworth in Thor Ragnarok. But as Ruffalo himself has acknowledged, he'll never headline in an Incredible Hulk solo film. That's because Universal Pictures, co-producer of the 2008 feature, maintains the distribution rights. That's the same reason The Incredible Hulk isn't streaming on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, so it comes down to the whole like Sony owns Spider-Man.
Sounds like it.
Sony and Marvel had to come up with a deal in order to get Spider-Man into the Avengers.
hmm
So
hmm
yeah, it sounds like yeah, they're not going to get that deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Um,
different. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know
yep.
that.
I didn't know that either.
I mean, it makes sense because I did question. I'm like, why in the heck is the Hulk on Paramount or on HBO Max? In fact, the Hulk's on there. The Daredevil movie is on there. Uh,
right.
and I think there was another Marvel movie I saw in there. I don't remember what it was.
It must be all
Uh,
distribution rights kind of
they
stuff.
they don't have the first Hulk though. They don't have the 2003.
No, they don't.
I looked for it, so I don't know if they don't
It's
have
on
the right
Tubi.
to that. Oh, it's on Tubi,
It's on
or,
Tubi too.
or they just figure nobody wants to watch the movie, so we're not taking up space on our hard drive, on our
Maybe.
server. You don't get the space on our servers.
Yep. Last line says, still, Ruffalo's journey as Bruce Banner isn't over yet because he's set to appear in Disney Plus's She-Hulk series, which stars Tatiana Maslany in the title role. And I hope I didn't mess up that last name. I apologize.
Okay, then.
So, well, there you have it. I thought it was just interesting to have that discussion. You know how people are like very much, why is, why was there the change?
Right, and it's not
Um,
a simple answer.
right.
There's layers to this that you have.
There's layers.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
have to unpeel it like an onion.
Right. And I ain't unpeeling it. We just peeled off a couple of layers. I ain't going further.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
That was a good illustration, though. I like that. Like an onion. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right. So, a couple of things about the film I want to talk about. That took a
Yeah.
lot more time than I thought. But action sequences, you're totally right. Love the action sequences. My favorite action sequence is the one in the beginning is okay. Where they reveal the Hulk, when they're in Brazil in the factory and those guys. That's fine.
Well, that's where we get the line. Don't make me hungry.
Right. Don't make me hungry. You wouldn't like me when I'm hungry. Right.
Which was good. I liked it.
Yeah.
I like that. And it's another callback to the original Hulk.
Yeah, my favorite was the whole sequence where they're at the college or whatever. They trap him on the bridge. How convenient, you get this whole, oh, we're gonna see him change. This is gonna be great. Then they throw in smoke, bombs or whatever, and
Right.
hurt the girl, and he starts changing because he's angry, he's mad, and
Right.
It was great to see him come out. The way they filmed it, busted out. Then to see Blonsky, he's gotten his first taste of the serum, of the super soldier serum, and really,
Yeah, he's almost Captain America like at that point.
he is, and it's really neat. I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Okay,
But it's like a drug to him. You got that
it is.
and he wants more.
Yeah,
And
which harkens back to, well, not back to, I guess now it does, but they talk about that more in the first Avenger, where the serum really augments the underlying personality of the individual, and that's why the doctor chose Steve Rogers, because of his heart, kind of a thing.
right.
Who he was. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Interesting.
Mhm.
Although the Hulk isn't from the same, he doesn't have the serum that
No,
Cap
no,
had.
no,
So
no,
it's
no, no.
different.
That's correct.
The whole gamma thing,
Yeah. So he becomes a mix of the serum with
Right.
gamma radiation.
Right. Nice. Well, I like the intro. I thought the intro was cool because again, it's a callback to the original TV series Hulk, which
Uh-huh.
I find cool. I loved the whole joke on the line. I thought that was well done and it was fun. I enjoyed Tim Roth as the Abomination. I thought he did a great job
At the end, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought the Abomination looked pretty good, and then that battle between Abomination and the Hulk. I thought those were all really good aspects of this film. And then, like I said, when I read the little article from the Marvel Encyclopedia, where it talks about Hulk can jump in a single bound, which, by the way, that's also an original Superman statement. Man originally could not fly; he could jump in a single tall buildings in a single bound. And I loved how they portrayed that in the film because they just show him jumping away. It was so cool. It was very comic book like.
Yes. Yes.
Enjoyed that very much. All of those aspects I really liked about this film. Again, I thought Ed Norton did a great job as Bruce Banner. I thought Liv Tyler did a good job as Betty Ross. She was the general is incredible. He's great, which he comes back in the MCU too.
Yep. He passed away last year, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he did. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Too bad.
John Hurt. Is that right?
Was that John? That wasn't John Hurt, was it?
See, here we go, everybody. Sorry, we got it.
John Hurt passed away a few years ago.
Here we go, everybody. Because we don't have our William Hurt. Sorry, my bad.
I was going to say John Hurt passed away a few years ago.
Right.
Granted, I like John Hurt too.
Yeah, William Hurt.
William.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, William did a great job. I thought he was fantastic. So there's the makings of a really good movie were there.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of dull points in this movie. That's where it falls apart. Which is probably why
Right.
it didn't do so well in the box office.
Right.
But I think if you want a interesting introduction to the MCU, I think it's a good movie to still watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just be prepared for some dull parts. That's all.
Now we see the Abomination in Shang-Chi.
Yes.
And
yeah, and we see a little bit different version of the Abomination.
Right.
Because he's he's not controlling him, but it's like a wrestling match.
It's a wrestling match. They're having a good time or something. So something's happened
Well, they
in there.
choreographed what they're going to do.
That's right, which is hysterical. Right. And I'm like, I want more of that story. I want to find out why that is, but we won't get anything else on that. So
no, we won't.
Yeah. So Wong with the Abomination, the Sorcerer Supreme with the Abomination, Wong the Sorcerer Supreme.
I kind of want to know more about Doug in Thor Ragnarok too.
Doug's dead.
Exactly. I knew Doug.
I knew Doug.
One of my favorite parts of Thor.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. All right, man. Well, anything else that was on your mind about the Incredible Hulk movie and all that kind of crazy stuff?
Again, it's better than in 2003. It's not exactly the Hulk movie I wanted.
Okay.
But it wasn't. It was definitely an improvement. And yeah, I thought Ed Norton did a great job. It would be interesting. This is where we need the multiverse, Stephen. Because we need a multiverse of the MCU to see what would have happened to the MCU had Ed Norton become the Hulk.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool to get another Ed Norton version of the Hulk
in the Avengers? Yeah, I would like to see where that would have went to. That'd be. Mm-hmm. I wonder if there was any kind of story treatment that was done specifically for the Ed Norton version of the Hulk of the Avengers. Mm-hmm. I would like to know that. Might be interesting where they were going to take him. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he's a different Bruce Banner than what we currently have. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Things that make you go,
Right. Well, my head cannon can do whatever it wants. So. All right. Yeah. Well, all right, everybody. Well, with that, we are wrapping up our discussion, kind of the road to She-Hulk. So we'll talk a couple of more episodes about the Hulk, She-Hulk, to kind of get us ready. I do appreciate Sage Page Omega bringing this up.
Yeah.
And to kind of get us ready. And it was a good review, getting ready, a good base foundation, and now seeing where we go from here. So, yeah. Good stuff. So, all right, everybody, you can check us out at our website at 2geeksmike.com. That's the number 2geeksmike.com. That's our hub for everything, 2 Geeks. So get to our Facebook page, get to our Ko-fi page. Please support us. We've just changed the tiers to get people involved. And if you haven't already, we did release another new sci-fi episode where we go over the movie, Mike.
Jason and the Argonauts.
Right on.
It's not really sci-fi. It's more of a fantasy flick.
Sci-fi fantasy gets put together.
Right. We make the role for the show, so whatever. Right?
Yeah.
It's a fun movie. Let's just put it that.
Yeah, we had a great time doing that. So check that out on our Ko-fi page. If you want to sign up for 1 month, that's totally fine, or buy us a Ko-fi. But at tier 2, which is $2. Yeah, tier 1 is $1, tier 2 is $2, and tier 3 is $3.
$3.
$2 gets you the audio version of the podcast, but if you do the $3, you can get the video version. Now you do get all past episodes as well. So that you get full access at the third level, the tier 3 level, $3 level. So all right.
$2 level, you get a RSS feed that will get you it'll get you all the audio episodes too.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah. You get another podcast feed. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, also be looking out for more stuff on once you sign up to be a part of on our Ko-fi, you also get the link to Discord. So we've got a Discord server that we've started and working on, and get some things situated for that as well. So we're just starting that. So pretty excited. Anything else? I think I got it all.
No, I think you said it all.
All right, Mike. Well, hey, thanks everybody. Appreciate you joining us for this fun episode about the Hulk smash. And all right, well, with that, Mike, I'll let you sign us out. Thanks so much.
All right, with that said, over and out. And like Steven said, Hulk smash. Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,